G'day, how you going? What do you know? Don't strike a light. G'day, and how you going? Just say g'day, and you'll be right.
Welcome to the Midweek End Times News and Trends Briefing as we share major events and what is happening around the world as it relates to Bible prophecy. Today's date is March 22nd, 2017. It's always amazing how things are developing around the world and how things are quickly escalating in the news, the events, and what's happening in so many countries around the world. In today's midweek briefing report, there's a couple things that I'd like to bring to your attention. One is a report that came out of the Jerusalem Post talking about that in the midst of the border tensions, Israeli defense chief alludes to strikes on Hezbollah convoys. So in the midst of the rising tension on the Syrian border, Israeli Defense Force Chief of Staff said that on Tuesday that the army would continue to work to prevent advanced weaponry from getting into the hands of the wrong people. The chief spoke at a security and strategy conference named in honor of the late former Assad chief and made comments days after the Syrian government forces fired on anti-aircraft missile at Israeli Defense Force or Air Force jets during an airstrike last Friday to halt the flow of advanced weapons to Hezbollah in the region. Speaking of Air Force, there is a report out of the Ynet News that talks about David Sling officially enters service. So the Israeli Air Force officially inaugurated the David Sling, which is a really cool name for this, missile defense system on Monday. It officially operational and functions as part of the Israel's multi-layered missile defense program. In this capacity, David Sling operates in the layer above the Iron Dome and also the below the Arrow system, meaning it's designed to intercept tactical ballistic missiles from medium to long-range rockets and cruise missiles fired from distance from 40 to 300 kilometers. Also within that region, dealing with Syria, Syrian rebels launch offensive on Damascus gateway to retake ground. And this is kind of where we're seeing more and more of Isaiah 17 talking about the destruction of Damascus in picture here. So the Syrian rebels stormed a major road junction leading to the heart of Damascus on Tuesday as they launched an offensive to regain ground lost in the army over the weekend. State media said rebels have re-entered parts of the city's northeastern district and that the army was bombing their positions. At 5 in the morning, they launched new offensive and restored all the points that they had to withdraw from Monday. Also, in dealing with Syria, Assad said to Israel, "We have the right to defend our borders." Like any country, they have the right to. And he warned Israel on Monday that his country has the right to defend its borders. It's not only their right, but it's also their duty, he told Russian reporters in Damascus, according to Russian news site. Assad also told the Russian parliament members who paid an official visit to the capital on Monday that he was counting on Moscow to prevent Israel from attacking his country in the future. So this whole relationship that they're trying to develop with Russia. Assad does seek the key Russian role after the Israel airstrike, according to Yahoo News, just continuing with the same similar report. How the president of Syria, Bashar Assad, on Monday said Russia can play an important role in the crisis following Syria firing missiles at Israeli warplanes carrying out strikes in the conflict-torn countries. And this, I believe, is one of those next steps and continue the development of not only Psalm 83, but more so of Ezekiel 38, where we would see the Gog and Magog invasion. Russia and also Syria, Turkey, all these other surrounding countries, how it's going to eventually invade Israel. Speaking of military, there is a report that came out of the Jews News that talked about this top general that exposed exactly what Obama has done to the U.S. military over the past 8 years. We've talked about this in different reports as well, how Obama has done whatever he could to destroy the United States and its military. And according to this report, this general that did talk about how Obama did everything humanly possible to destroy U.S. while in office. He weakened on every front imaginable. He made enemies out of allies and emboldened the enemies. The report also talked about one of the tactics Obama did to destroy America as the world superpower is that he gutted the military and successfully took it back to the pre-World War II capabilities. Again, most people were aware of Obama's antics while he was in office, and we're learning now even more how horrifying that has taken place. And we see there's a rebuilding of the military under President Trump, but we do see what took place over the last 8 years, the disastrous administration that the Obama administration was, and how we're seeing report after report of the disaster that has taken place. And then finally, on this particular note, and this is so cool to hear some truth that's actually being proclaimed, and a report going out of breaking Israeli news. The Christian journalist, a myth-busting report on the truth in Israel goes viral. And it's a great video to see, but how this journalist's brutally honest report in her team's recent fact-finding mission to Israel went viral this week, myth-busting the Israel-Palestinian conflict, spreading the message that the situation in Israel is much different than what people think. And then she kind of goes into kind of exposing what the truth is, what we've mentioned in different reports as well. And but she went in there with an open mind, just asking questions and investigating, and even talking about the two-state solution to one-state solution. And again, she agrees it's a one-state solution, but the Palestinians, they do not want peace. They want destruction. They can come in across the borders as long as they don't have weapons and other bombs and explosives. But the Jews do not go to the other side, otherwise they will be killed. Even just talking about the Bethlehem, how she wanted to go in there, but it's just predominantly Muslim-based, and her claims in Bethlehem, now majority of Muslim city, how they're unfriendly toward Christians, and so the Muslims, after they heard this, were all upset and labored her Islamic phobic, and but her claims were supported by a video showing and listening to the Muslims' call to prayer from the loudspeaker at the top Church of Nativity, again one of the holy sites to Christianity, and also one of the UNESCO World Heritage Site. She also noted that there was no women or children or Christians in sight there. The square in front of the church filled with Muslims praying. So she also talked about the what was taking place on the kind of the Syrian border, where she pointed out an Israel military hospital was treating some of the Syrians, so they are taking care of other people, not just its own Israelis. But we see how she just reported the facts and reported the truth and done her investigation. But again, this video has gone viral. I encourage you to watch it before it gets taken down, so people can hear it, but they can also read this report that describes what she was talking about. So it's so good to hear truth being reported, not fake news like the mainstream media would want people to believe. And let me close with a final devotional thought, just a word of encouragement. As I was reading through different devotionals this morning, this one came from Chuck Swindoll, and I've done different devotions from him in the past. And this one was entitled, Take Life as It Comes. And it was just a great word of encouragement. I wanted to share it with you. The verse comes out of Ecclesiastes 11:6, which talks about, in the morning, sow your seed, and in the evening do not withhold your hand, for you do not know which will prosper, either this or that, or whether both will be alike and good. So the devotion talks about this. The only way that we can come to terms with reality is by trusting God, regardless. No ifs, ands, or buts. If I'm a farmer and God allows a flood to come and wash away my crops, or God chooses to give me the beautiful season rains and bumper crops, I trust Him and give Him praise. If I'm industry or some professional and someone throws me a curve, God allows my whole world to be reversed, I trust Him and give Him praise. I take life as it occurs. I don't waste time in the pit of doubt, nor do I worry over crop failures and strikeouts. We can't wait for conditions to be perfect, nor can we wait for things to be free of all risks. Absolutely free, absolutely safe. Instead of protecting ourselves, we have to release ourselves. Instead of hoarding, we are to give and invest. Instead of drifting, we are to pursue life. Instead of doubting, we are to courageously trust. And I would say a big amen to that. And that is a great word of encouragement for us today. So take life as it comes. Keep trusting the Lord. Keep our eyes fixed upon Him as the author and finisher of our faith. And no matter what happens in our life, no matter what we're facing, we have an opportunity to trust the Lord. He is going to work all things for our good, to those who love Him, to those who are called according to His purposes, as Romans 8:28 talks about. So may the Lord bless you, may He keep you, make His face shine upon you, and may He radically and outrageously bless you. Until next time, God bless.